That's okay. The
Hello,
stream is live.
everybody. Where are we?
I see us.
Yeah, I
You
see
see us
where
somewhere? Are we on Instagram anywhere?
it's at the top.
There we go. I think there's Instagram right there, but I'm not sure
Yay.
which Instagram that is.
It's up.
Hi, everybody. Bear with us.
Hi.
Bear with us for 1 second while we get Instagram going. Which one are we on? Okay, so hi, everybody.
Hi.
This is this is the Strands 2024 Spring Meet the Designers meeting with 2 of our 12 designers for our Spring 2024 show. We got Stacey Angela Williams, who has been a participant before. What year was that? 2019?
That's 2019. Yep.
2019.
Yeah, right before pandemic.
Right. And then we have Miss Lazheta of Ava Rose Crochet, and Stacey is of Stay by Stacey Angela. So we are just going to get an interview going here with both of them to find out more, so you can learn more about them and be prepared when you come to the show.
Yes.
But give me a second. Let me get live here on Instagram on the other one. And so in the meantime, Stacey, can you tell us about yourself?
Sure. Hey, everybody. I'm so excited to be here. The Strands Fiber Showcase is top tier and it's so supportive and kind. I am a crochet swimwear designer, especially, and that's my specialty, is swimwear and resort wear, especially as a woman born in Jamaica, raised in Jersey, having loads of family going back and forth all over the country, all over the world, and them looking really amazing while they were doing it. You know what I mean? It was that right accessory, the right carry-on bag, the right outfits and so forth, the right things to the beach. So that made me really interested in the whole lifestyle of resort wear and what that meant. And as a fun fact, I only started crocheting because I was sucking my thumb. And my mom was like, "We are not paying for braces." My mom and dad would try everything. Pepper, they would try everything to get me to stop. And I did, but I was crocheting. They had me crocheting. They had me making rugs, all kind of stuff as a kid. So that led me to wanting to do that more. But then I took a super long hiatus and didn't crochet until I was like 23, maybe, so maybe like a 10-year hiatus. And it started to just blossom. Once I graduated college, went to Ramapo College of New Jersey, majored in psychology, minor in women's studies, but I've always been an artist at heart and come from a family that were also, although they had their 9-to-5s, they had their other creative endeavors that they were a part of,
Mm-hmm.
Cool. Cool. That's interesting. You started because you were sucking your thumb. That's cool. So wait, who did you say taught you?
My mom taught me. My mom taught me, and my grandmother would teach me on the side and stuff, like certain things if she saw me doing my stitches too tight, which actually helped me develop the skill of doing my swimsuits using like the mercerized cotton or the thinner yarns, because I was crocheting so tight that it would kind of like ripple, you know what I mean? Like, so that allowed me to loosen up. I ended up going to FIT. I took a class there, and she was like, "This would be great for swimwear, though, but just loosen it up a little bit more, It's
Okay.
too tight, right?" So, and that's how that manifested. And I started out as a stylist first, wanting to bring the whole vibe of crochet into shoots and stuff like that, because at that time it was what older people did and so forth. And Erykah Badu was just making her entrance into the industry and her aesthetic, which was heavily crochet and knit.
Right.
And yeah, and then when I met her designer that had done these crochet pants in this video for Common, I was like, this on. I went from being a stylist to really having the courage to fully design, like crochet my own collection, get them out there, get them into stores and so forth, do all the legwork, but I was still always styling on the side, working with like Deborah Gignard, who's now my creative director for my magazine, which is like full circle. And that flipped things around, You never know. Sometimes one thing leads to another.
Absolutely, right? You never
Mhm.
know. All right, Miss
Sure.
Lazheta, same about you. Can you tell us about yourself and who you
Well,
are?
I'm a recreation therapist. I work at a drug and alcohol rehab. I've been there for 22 years. A mother of four. I have twins, two older children, a daughter, my poor daughter with three boys. Uh, yeah, so
Oh,
I've been
wow.
since I was about 11. And my mother taught me how to crochet. And of course, I, never knew how to do anything but slippers. That's all. That's what I started out making was slippers, freestyling. And then I stopped for forever. And then I started back during my daughter was wanting to learn how to crochet. So she's like, let's go to Walmart and grab some yarn. So we went. I tried to teach her, and I was like, I realized that I'm not the teacher that I think I am. So I don't know if that's a strength. But so then it just took off with me. So I took her yarn, got some crochet hooks, and then I've been going ever since. I started with hats.
Mm-hmm.
And then a friend of mine, Jen Mason, she's a seamstress. So she was doing a fashion show, and she asked me to crochet some of the sleeves for her upcycles. And so that's how I kind of got into the fashion. So I just loved it from there, from the first fashion show. And
Yeah.
I want to keep going. Now I'm just going crazy with it. So
Yeah.
Good. Great.
yeah.
Great. Okay, so now how long did you say your hiatus was?
From 11 to 40, 45.
My hiatus was, oh
Yeah, long.
gosh,
Yep.
mine was
So
a couple decades, I think.
yeah, I missed a whole lot. So, but I just got into it. It's just like I never left it. I learned how to read patterns. I just, just got into it. I come from a family who is very creative, crochets all the time. So,
Mm-hmm.
so a lot of my family, I just took it from them and kept going. I have an aunt.
Oh.
She's just recently passed, but that was her thing. She crocheted every day, nonstop, all day. She just
Oh
had
wow.
Mm.
so
Oh wow.
mentor when I got started back.
I think besides my grandmothers, both of them,
Mm.
no one else can crochet in my family.
Oh,
No
Oh,
one.
wow.
So it was only just me. Interesting. Nice to have that support.
yeah.
For
Okay.
sure.
So
Sure.
what inspired you to actually go into crochet fashion design? Like for me, I used to just make blankets and little stuff, but then one day I was like, I'm too lazy to make a blanket. So I was like, I want to do something I can finish in a day. So that's what started my bikinis.
Yeah.
And that's what got me to doing fashion. So what actually inspired you to do fashion instead of just, actual fashion instead of just regular run of the mill crochet things like scarves and hats?
Is
Even though
that for
hats are
You
fashion.
know, you know
Go ahead.
what? I'm sorry, Lashida. You know what though? I feel like when what actually inspired me, I graduated college. I just picked up the needle again just to see if I could do it. And I was working with these girls and they were so ahead of their time in hindsight, an online magazine.
Mhm.
And we decided we also wanted to have a clothing line called Mosaic. But when we sat down to discuss what each of our skills was, I said, well, I could crochet, right? So I literally was faking it the whole time. I hadn't started styling it at that point. But then I crocheted a piece, and a friend of mine took it to a casting call. And when my friend Charlotte went to a casting call, and she came back with an order of a dozen pair of crochet earrings because they saw her on the line while she was waiting for her audition, and she came back with orders. And one of the people that saw it was a boutique owner in Brooklyn that was amazing, and that's how it began. Then I was like, oh, I guess I'm taking this seriously.
right?
Yeah, I
Okay.
was like, I guess
All
it's
right,
on
Lazheta,
then.
Right. And I guess
Right.
when I started helping my friend with the upcycles, I just took to upcycling and I started going. So I go to the thrift store and I'd like to upcycle and make things new. So take something old,
Mhm.
make it new. And so I kind of like, oh, okay, this is something I can really do this. And then when I made my first actual piece was for my 50th birthday. I made a dress and a skirt and a top, and it was just, I got a lot of compliments. I'm like, okay, I think I can do this. I'm interested in the fashion part. So then I just, I saw Strands last year and I applied and I missed out because I didn't see the email. And so I wanted to do this last year, but I guess, things happen for a reason. And so this has got to be my season. So now
Right.
For sure.
more seriously. Yep.
Hmm.
Okay. All right. All right.
Yeah.
All right. Hold on. Right. Exactly. So, well, we're glad to have you. And may you join us again. I have a lot of repeat designers.
Okay.
Aisha from RoseAnn Designs has been with me since 2018. So, you know, a lot of us, once you come in, we become family and good friends,
Yeah.
and we have a good time. And meeting
For
up every
sure.
year is like really fun because
Yeah.
this year, out of all 12, I think one, two, three. Only three of us are from Atlanta. All the other 9 of you are coming from out of state. So it's a
Oh
cool
wow,
meetup
that's
every
awesome.
year to see.
Yeah.
It's nice, and it's amazing how fast the time goes by because we're right
Yeah.
back at it again this year. So
Hmm.
okay. Describe your niche target markets. Like, who are you crocheting for? Stacey.
I'm crocheting for the edgy traveling fashionista, the woman who's always on the go, who doesn't want to look like anybody else. They're unique.
Mm-hmm.
Because I know, regardless, they want to be unique. They want to be set apart. They don't want to just be like a clone of everybody. And
Correct.
those were the customers that I had. I had those who wanted custom swimsuits, either because their top heaviness and their bottoms were smaller. And they would go into the stores, and that's when crochet just started exploding. And so they would go to stores, and some of the stuff would be stretched out. So they're like, okay, I'm not dealing with that. So they would come to me, and those were the unique pieces that became like what people will come to me
Mm-hmm. Ooh,
for
beautiful.
sure. Ooh. Yes. So yeah, that became the niche. That became the go-to, the woman who is always traveling, always on the go, always is, then because what's amazing when they do swim week in Miami, um I used to love to be able to see all the editors and their amazing swimsuits by the pool, but with their laptops on hand, getting their
Mm-hmm.
work done. You know what I mean? Or on the beach. They have a cocktail, but they're getting their work done at that beach. So, you know what I mean? They're typing things up. It's like a regular work day. And I
Right.
love that.
Right.
So yeah, that's been my vibe. That's who I'm looking for. That's who I think is also looking for me.
All right. Same question to you, Miss Lazheta.
I'm crocheting for your everyday person, your everyday woman who just wants a beautiful piece and something. I have a lot of people that come and ask me, one thing they do is, oh, I found this picture. Can you make this? Well, yeah, I can try to make that with a pattern. I can make that, but I want to be able to just create my own things and
Yeah.
Right.
like those things. But yeah, I'd like to crochet for your everyday person who just wants to look different, who loves crochet. My sister loves every single piece, everything I make, she wants to buy. She wants, and
Um,
like, I hate to sell to her, but she wants to buy everything. So, oh, she's like, oh yeah, I want that in this color. I want this. So people who like her, she's kind of like a fashionista herself, and she likes
mhm.
to be different. She likes to look good, and I want to crochet for her. I want
Yeah.
those people who want to look good and crochet every day,
Okay. So
No,
she
that's
has
good.
some of your business cards that she has on hand all the time, right?
all the time.
Okay, good.
It
She's your
supports.
walking billboard, right?
Yes,
All right, cool.
Absolutely.
How, Stacey? This question is for you. It's for both of you, but Stacey, I want you to take it first. But describe, or how do you typically approach your design process for a new piece?
It's usually color selection. It's
Say
usually
that again.
like usually color selection by color. So like I'm all about brights. You know, that's why I was so attracted to seeing your background with all the beautiful colors of yarn and stuff like that, because those are the things I'm automatically attracted to or connected to. So I always kind of go with the colors first, color selection first. Like, okay, I want to be in this palette this season. And then after that, I start, like, I sometimes I'll go on certain sites and I'll see, like, I love corsets. I love undergarment type things. You know what I mean? The construction of that. So that a lot of that goes into it. I find myself color first, and then going through certain trends, and then once I see the trends, trying to take my own spin on it. You know what I mean? And do my own thing with it, and yeah, and continue the uniqueness of it all. Because everybody doesn't always like color. You know what I mean? I have certain customers that are only like, I like blacks, whites, nudes. That's it.
Do you charge more for black?
We should.
Do you charge more for black stuff?
Right? I should. Like, well, if I have to work with black, I'm charging more.
Black is the worst. I mean, to crochet with, let me say that. I have this little headlight thing. Like, if I'm doing a black piece, I'll wear my little headlight so I can actually see the stitches.
Yeah, see the stitches.
I prefer not to use black if I'm doing just regular, going back and forth. I'll use it if in a motif, because you don't have to go in like the stitch per se. You can go in the hole, so you don't have to worry about seeing the stitches. So it's difficult to see the stitches. But anyway, okay. Same question for you, Lazheta. How do you approach the
design? Well, I'm very new at this. So what I've done to get ready for the show is that I've gone on YouTube to a lot of fashion shows. So a lot of high-end couture. So, and I watch and I see some of the things that kind of attract me. I'm kind of a hippie, so I like a lot of baggy, big things. And so I think I go to styles first. And then I try to recreate some of the things that I might see in the fashion world, and then go that route, and then pick colors. I like to say I'm a bright color person. I have a lot of bright color yarn, but for some reason, all my colors are fall colors all year round.
Always. Right.
I'm like, oh yeah, let's greens and orange, and then I have brown.
Right. Yeah, I don't normally follow what's supposed to be what. I'm doing whatever.
I like trending fashions, and I try to go from there. Pinterest, I never knew how to work Pinterest, but it's become my best friend.
Just really
getting ideas and things like that.
Okay, so Pinterest is your go-to. Yeah. My closet is usually mine. I like to try to recreate stuff that's in my closet.
Oh yeah.
Into crochet form. Yeah.
Yep.
Okay, so Stacey, how do you choose the materials for your crochet projects, and what factors influence those decisions?
Well, definitely the environment.
I'm sorry. Are there any specific types of yarns that you use?
Yes, I prefer to. I love bamboo. Even though sometimes I feel it's what's the word? Maybe it was the brand I was using, but I felt like the material was kind of like falling apart a little bit. But I love working with it.
You mean like how
okay, so that
splits?
Yes. But I love working with it. Yeah. I love working with it because I like how it washes. I love working with cottons heavily because, of course, that's also nice to wash and dry, hand wash and hand dry. I prefer like brands like Karen. I know everybody doesn't like them all the time, but I love Karen yarn. I like unique brands, like brands I've never heard of, especially international ones. I like to go shopping for those kinds of brands, that like the ones that glow in the dark, You know, some of those things are really like, I like those cool aesthetics, the bamboo, the spandex, of course, brands that have some kind of spandex in it, in the yarn. So, you know, stretch is always key. And that way, for the most part, my pieces can cover more than one size. So the stretch and the spandex allow that to have more give, and the cotton allows it a little bit to be more restricted so that, you know, it doesn't fall, you know, get too stretched out.
Right. Lazheta?
I've been working with acrylics mostly. But the one thing that I find, the one like yarn that I love is, I love this yarn from Hobby Lobby. It's super soft. It's kind of always my go-to because they always have fun colors, and the yarn is very soft. I love soft, especially for sweaters, and I do a lot of hats and stuff. So, but I want to work with, I find that it's kind of more difficult for me to work with thin yarn. But I'm going to try my hand at some more some thinner yarn, get some more practice with it. But acrylics are kind of heavy now that I'm working. Like for hats, acrylics are great, thick, nice. That's what you want. Some full coverage, you know, warmth. But for clothes, I'm finding that the acrylics are very heavy. The pair of pants that I made, I'm like, okay, we're gonna have to weigh these suckers because they are so heavy, but they feel good. I love the way they feel, but they are very heavy. So I'm going to venture more, try out some different yarns. I'm going to go in today, go buy some cotton. And I did make a pair of pants. I made a pair of pants with acrylic, but a very thin acrylic. So it was it was a 4-way, but it kind of was like 3. So I'm going to go get that version in cotton just to see the difference and how things turn out.
Yeah. My favorites are natural fibers. Like Stacey was saying, I like bamboo and cotton. And one of my favorites is Cascade Fixation, which is a cotton that has elastic in it. So it stretches. And like she says, it can cover a range of sizes. Like I had this top who I did not think this lady was going to get in, and she got in it and it fit her perfectly. I was like, oh my gosh, you know, so that's Cascade Fixation. If you ever want a stretchy yarn, it's cotton and elastic. It's fabulous. Yes, Stacey, bamboo splits, so you got to be careful when you hook it because it get caught on the hook.
And my hands sweat. My hands sweat. So like when I'm working with the bamboo, it's splitting, and then some of the materials are coming off. But then it's so pretty to me afterwards. So,
and the Draper bamboo, the way it moves, is really nice on certain garments. Lazheta, my favorite is to use mercerized cotton for almost everything except for sweaters. The regular cotton is good for sweaters, but that mercerized cotton is always a good yarn to use for garments. It's good. It's easy to wash. You know, it lasts. It lasts like this is mercerized cotton. It's been washed, dried, thrown to the side, fried, all kind of stuff, ironed, steamed, all kinds of stuff. You know, and it still lasts, and I love it.
Good.
And the color is still vibrant. That's what's dope about it too.
It really is. This is Sinfonia, and I made this at least 7 years ago. I mean, it's old, so it's been around a while. Okay, so my next question was about how do you stay updated on trends? But you told me Pinterest, and what did you say, Stacey? Was it YouTube?
No, it's I'm a magazine host. I love magazines, so I'm always sorry I had to say it like that, but like it's really, and I'm a snob with it too. I love. There's a spot in close to Penn Station in New York, and it's a magazine store. It's everything, all international magazines and so forth. These magazines are like $25 a piece, $39 because it's art. So I'm very much into finding clothes that are from way outside the country, like Germany, Berlin. You know what I mean? Where knitwear and yarn is like so needed because of the temperatures, right? And watching and Canada and watching how they've turned it and made it so couture and so high end. And I remember there was my first inspiration was a show called FTV, and it was based in Canada at first. So when I was like 12 years old, this woman would come on and she would interview these people, and the runway shows were filled with nothing but knitwear. And I was so amazed by that. The pieces were gorgeous, and that got me hooked. It was on after that. That was like the part of the puzzle, you know.
Okay. FTV,
Mm-hmm.
are they still doing shows?
I'm not sure if they do shows anymore. It was an older woman she was older at that time, so maybe she was in her late 40s, mid 50s, and she was this Caucasian woman with this like streak of white hair. I have to find her name and I'll give it to you, and I'm going to look it up to see if she's still in existence. But they used to cover every single show till like 4 a.m. all year round, the whole Fashion Week season. So
okay. Yeah, I'll be interested in looking at that. That's pretty cool.
For sure.
All right. So have you introduced any innovative techniques in your designs?
I use I like to blend colors. So like I'll see those colors back there and I see an orange and there's like this hot pink. Those things are really vibrant to me, right? And I like to blend them and like kind of create my own variegated look to my piece.
Okay.
I do a lot of that. Mm-hmm. Like because sometimes I may see a color, but the gradient may be a level up of orange, and it makes it look like crazy. You know what I mean? So I like to blend my yarns for sure. You'll see that. You'll notice that's a thing I do all the time. Mm-hmm.
All right. What about you, Lazheta?
I've realized that I'm a granny square lover. I
like
am
motifs,
the queen. People are always like, "Oh, my grandmother did this," and I said, "This is not your grandmother's crochet. This is something different." And I'll take a granny square and make it anything. So I find that I love granny squares. So that's kind of my technique right now. But I do want to learn. I'm in the process of learning new stitches and just trying to expand.
Okay. Yeah. So the motif, our theme motifs fits right in with you then, right?
Yes.
Yeah. I like the motif too. I call myself the motif maven. I used to hate them because I'm like, I'm not putting those together. That's crazy. I'm not putting those together at the end. But when I learned that you can put them together as you go and your piece grows really quickly that way, I'm addicted. Yes, so I can't get away from them much anymore. So so the theme of this year is Motif Mavens Mosaic Motifs, to see what we can do with some shapes, be it the square, be it the octagon and hexagons. You can do all kinds of stuff with, and triangles. There's all kinds of stuff you can do with different types of motifs and their shapes. Okay, so what challenges have you faced as a crochet designer?
Right.
Having designs stolen. In the beginning of your career, God was very good to me in the beginning, just as far as timing is concerned, because I had just started crocheting earrings and started to get them in stores, and I had sold them in a store, and I met this lady who I thought was an amazing stylist, and she's what's called a product developer, and product developers go around the world. They see what's hot, and they bring it back to their company and recreate it. So I didn't know that's what she was. I just thought it was somebody supporting the design, and she worked for H&M. Well, honey, I had just had my stuff on America's Next Top Model, and it was like 11 months before. So I was working a social services job at Division of Children and Families, so not expecting it to drop. And finally, I'm walking up the stairs one day, and my phone is ringing. I was like, I hope nothing's wrong. Like, why are people calling me like this? I finally get upstairs and start making the calls back, only to find out that my stuff was on America's Next Top Model and to turn on the TV. Now, had it not come out on that day, 2 days later, it dropped. A whole line of crochet earrings dropped in H&M. And who was the lead product developer? The same young lady. And they made about $1.3 million off of that. And it was such a huge lesson to me about when you launch things. You know what I mean? It definitely has created a fear of knowing when to launch your product. You know what I mean? That's so, so important. And knowing whose hands to put it in. You know,
Right.
we know that as a designer, that's part of the process. We are inspired by each other and so forth. But we have to be mindful as to when we drop. You know what I mean? And that was a heavy lesson I had to learn. That was a heavy lesson.
Yeah.
Wow.
A lot of I hear a lot of the time, oh, there's nothing new under the sun. It's like, well, yeah, there are things new under the sun that haven't been done before in styles that get taken. So yeah. And imitation is not a form of flattery at all whatsoever.
No, not to me at all. Because when you look at for instance, I had a friend of mine who lived, I think, down the street from the woman who actually created the aesthetic that Donna Karan has become famous for. She was actually the person who created the samples and the pieces and so forth, and never got credit for what she was doing. And when I knew that and met the woman, this beautiful woman from Panama, that was very scary to me. So I remember when it happened, I called my professor at FIT and she was like, girl, you need to be on your next 10 designs. I said, but this still don't feel good.
Right.
You know? So you just have to be safe and make sure that you are, you're going to, when it's time for you to release, you'll know when it's time to release your product. And have no fear. I had to remove that anxiety also, you know what I mean? Because this is what part of the reason I've been put on this earth. And I can't let, people whose intentions aren't the best. I just have to make sure I move smarter and that I'm steps ahead.
Right. Exactly. Miss Lazheta?
For me, my biggest challenge right now is time management. 4 o'clock in the morning, and I have to get up at 5 to go to work. So time management, first of all, this is addictive. Crocheting is very addictive, and I don't want to put it down. I can go all night, all day crocheting. I don't, people are like, oh, you want to go here? I got stuff to do. I want to crochet.
You can take your crochet with you.
I take it everywhere, and they're like, you did not bring that bag.
Yep.
Yes, I brought my bag.
Okay.
Time is like crazy. I need to really, though, set a time to crochet. And because, my house around me is like, oh, dishes are piling up. So yeah, I need
you
to
can hire somebody for that though.
I know, right? I have children.
Okay, I know that's right, Stacey.
You can hire somebody to do all that stuff while you spend your time doing what you need to.
Yeah, I'm trying not to
okay.
away. So, work my time management skills, which I don't have it for crochet, which is okay. So especially now I'm designing. I'm really enjoying this process. I really appreciate you, picking me to come out there, and I'm having a ball with this so far. So I know that I will continue.
Oh yes, you will.
Yeah.
It's just that it's always I'll be done after this last row, right? Just
right.
one more row.
There's no such thing.
Yeah, no such thing.
No.
All right. Yes, Stacey.
Because 3 rows could make such a difference.
Right. It's like, okay, well, let me get definitely. Stacey, what you were saying about knowing when to release and when to drop, that is very key. Yeah. And just to know who to trust and have in your corner, and and not speaking on your stuff until it's already done and out. Yeah.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
You cannot. It's a shame that we can't always just trust everybody we meet. It's really awful that we can't do that.
Yeah.
But okay, so you got your lessons.
One of the things wanting to do, like put some stuff on, like some of the things, just give a sneak peek on TikTok, and then I was like, okay, no, I can't do that right now. I gotta wait till after the show just to reveal.
Right. Sometimes I like to take an extreme close up of what I'm working on, like, so you can't see what it is, but you can see the stitches and the colors.
Yeah.
like, okay, that's what this is. But yeah, I'm not too
Oh,
keen on
trust me, in New York Fashion Week, they'll show up at your shows. I've had people show up at my shows, and because I'm like walking around and seeing things, I said, "Is she taking pictures of the stitching of my sweat? Did she just do that?" It's so
Wow.
real.
Yeah.
They see
That's
an
a shame.
aesthetic they like, they want to duplicate it. You know what I mean?
Okay. So do you have any special projects that hold do you have any projects that hold a special significance to you? And why would it
Hmm.
be your favorite?
I will say what I'm so excited about this show about is that I'm going to challenge myself to do grander pieces because, as you know, as a swimwear designer as well, you get comfortable just knocking out a little 5 hour piece. You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying, and then you're done and complete. But I have other dreams of creating like magnificent dresses and so forth, and undergarment type of things. That I'm trying to tackle for this project. I think I think the Strands is the special project. You know what I mean? It is, what I feel God gave me this opportunity to be able to take things to the next level. You know what I mean? As far as my art
Hmm.
and not being afraid to try new things. You know,
Right.
I want to be very unafraid with this collection. Very unafraid. I don't want to be just this is just what she does and that's it. You know.
Uh-oh. Is that the name of it? Unafraid? That's gonna be the name of the collection. Unafraid.
I think that's what it is because it
That'll
is. I'm being unafraid in this collection. From the color selection to the thickness of the yarn. Where as you were saying, Lazheta, about working with thinner yarns and trying to work with that more. I want to work with the thicker yarns and see how I can create certain silhouettes with those pieces. That can be bulkier. You know what I mean? But learning finding a way.
Oh, Lazheta, I wanted to mention about thinner yarns. Sometimes what I do is double them up
hmm
to make it just still a little bit thicker, but not as thin. So that's something you might
Okay.
think
Oh,
about.
Yeah.
I'm going to
Doubling
try.
up
Yeah.
either doubling up two thin ones or just adding a thin one to a thicker one just to
Oh,
give it some
Yeah.
texture and
Yeah.
color changes and stuff.
okay.
Yeah.
Um,
Try that.
yeah, I'm a 3.5 millimeter hooker, so that's like my favorite size. Um, I do a lot of work with thinner yarns,
Okay.
but
Mm-hmm.
I do double up a lot, so that's like my
Mm-hmm.
thing. Um,
That's right.
okay, what advice would you give other aspiring crochet designers?
Do your thing. Be unafraid. There was a lady that tagged me. She was like, "I'm a new designer, and I would love for some designers and to just give me some encouragement." And and she asked the question of like, what would you advise? And I told her I was like, just don't be afraid. Just do your stuff, and once you've knocked your pieces out and you're ready to go to market, don't be afraid to express how amazing you feel about what you just created from nothing. That's what I love about crocheting in the knitwear industry, is that you're literally creating something out of nothing. You know what I mean? And try hard, make sure your paperwork is right. you know um Make sure that you have a vision, write down your visions. You know what I mean? I'm all about that. um
Hmm.
and find your tribe. You know what I mean? I feel like
Yeah,
Strands, I finally found my tribe. Like, yeah, Fashion Week is cool and I'm around good people that appreciate the art, but when you find people that you can be like, what needle do you suggest, what brand do you suggest? You know what I mean? Because I'm trying to work on this project, and only another knitwear or crochet designer or somebody who's in the field would kind of get that. So
Right.
this it's important to have your tribe that understands what you're doing, because in the beginning they're like, you're gonna crochet, grandma's crochet. You know what I mean?
right,
Right.
Everybody
right.
doesn't want to look like Erica Badu. I was like, well, who says I'm crocheting in that aesthetic? So also being unafraid of doing your thing. Like, forget even if people don't like it. Like, even if people laugh, because they're not gonna laugh for too long.
Right.
when they realize
Right.
what's happening. You know,
Yes, ma'am.
just do your thing.
Yes.
Mhm.
Very good advice.
Yes, I
Miss
agree.
Lazheta?
I definitely agree with
Yeah.
that. And to learn as much as you can, find your community. I never knew that there were so many hookers out here in the world, and I found them.
Especially that look like us.
Yes, that look like us,
Yeah.
and amazing work,
Yes.
and not getting the credit for it. For one, I look on TikTok,
Yes.
really annoying how like these Black women with these amazing pieces, just fantastic work, and they don't get the amount of likes or the the fanfare. But then you have the other ladies, and they have millions of followers. I don't get it
For
because
sure. For
we're
sure.
doing one stuff, and
Right.
Hmm.
that's just my advice is to definitely to connect with your people, more crocheters that look like you, and
Yeah.
to do and to share ideas with each other, and to just get support from one another, but to learn as much
Yes.
as you can. That's I'm in the process of trying to do that every day, is to learn. I have tons of books. A friend of mine, she gave me, I guess she was like, I'm done with this crochet stuff, I'm over it, so she gave me all of her books, which I welcome every last one of them. But just to learn new stitches, and
Mhm.
I'm in those books all day, every day.
Right.
Yes.
I
Yes.
don't want to just do double crochet for everything. I want to try some new things, and so just to not be afraid, definitely not be afraid of trying something new and making mistakes. And people, when I crochet at work on my break, people are like, "Wait, you gonna unravel that whole thing?" Yes, because I want it has to be right, and I'm not
Yes.
afraid to pull a
Right.
whole entire sweater if I have to, just to do it right. I want it to look good.
Yeah.
I want it to fit good, and I want to feel good about what I make. So,
That's
um,
right.
and I want people to feel good about what they wear,
Right.
especially if they find things for me. And it just has to be right. And I'm always
Yeah.
willing to, own my mistakes. So if I make something for somebody and it falls apart, I'll honor that, because
Yes.
that was so.
Wait.
Yeah.
Okay. Excuse me. Okay. Good advice. Good advice, both of you. And my piece of advice is take good pictures. Get
Yeah.
really good photographs of your work. Image is everything, regardless of what everybody try to tell you.
Ah.
Image is everything.
Mhm.
So
Mhm.
if you want to be large, you got to look large and present it. And
Yeah.
you don't have to, it doesn't always have to come at a cost either. So it's just a matter of finding your crew and your team who can help get that done and, get that done for you.
Yeah.
So, okay. Thank you, ladies, for that. Is there did I ask this question? Is there anything that you learned along the way that you wished you knew at the beginning?
Ooh, no, you didn't ask that one. That you're gonna feel like you want to quit sometimes.
Mhm.
That you're gonna feel like you're gonna give up, or that you've missed your mark. Because when I was starting, it wasn't many people crocheting. Definitely not that looked like me.
Right.
I would literally take. I was when you say about it being addicting, I would literally go to bars or go out to dinner and crochet, and they're like
Yep.
the bartenders would be like, "Are you crocheting
Yeah.
Yep.
Yes,
a
I.
swimsuit?" I said, "Well, that's the only way I'm gonna get outside. I got, I got orders to fill. Like,
Yes.
how else am I gonna socialize? No man is gonna come to my door and say, 'Hey, I know you're in there crocheting. You're so amazing, but can you come outside and play now?' Like, no, no one's doing that. So I had to really kind of like make it my own unique thing. You're gonna want to quit sometimes, and then you're gonna get that re-inspiration, and it's gonna be like you started just in the beginning. It's like that first feeling, like when you did an amazing piece, and your customer like really loves it, and then they spread the word, and that you have like it just feels good. So you're gonna want to quit sometimes, but there's always gonna be energy that's gonna come and remind you of why you're doing it in the first place. You
Yeah.
know,
Right.
that's so
Right.
important.
Yeah. And I'm learning to just walk away from my piece for a little while, and come back to it later. So I just sometimes I really do need to take a break from it because I get frustrated. I'm like, this is not turning out to what I need it to look like. So I just walk away. Maybe I do need I'm a huge house head. I love house music. So I have to go out and dance once a week. And once I help
Okay.
out in that way, I'm good. I can come back home and crochet all night long. So
Okay.
So
my
you
inner
get dance therapy.
yes, that is my
Yes.
really my therapy. Crochet is my therapy too, but house music is my serious therapy. And so I have to get out and move around because I'm so stuck sitting and I,
Mhm.
stiff
Yeah.
when I'm done, I'm stiff and all this. But
Yeah,
so that's exercise and that's my good time. But it helps me to just refocus
Right.
and come back and get started.
Okay.
for
All
sure.
right.
For sure.
All right. So we're gonna wrap up soon. I just have a few more questions. What are your goals? What are your future goals as a designer?
Mm.
I would love to get into Vogue magazine or Elle, preferably Elle. And the reason why I say that, and of course, remember I mentioned I'm a magazine host, so I love, I I love the fact that Elle was really into. They were the first that I saw put certain people, designers of color and stylists of color, in their publications and give them the light that they deserved, like in the way that they deserved it. So I loved that. So definitely get an Elle, Vogue, Essence, of course, Essence magazine. Just as like a personal, having been a stylist and worked around all those environments and been in all those offices, it's like I want to be able to have achieved that, as a bucket list type of
Gotcha.
thing.
Yep.
Um, Definitely re-emerging in the swim week shows in Miami. Going back to that, I spoke to my homegirl about that 2 weeks ago. So that just being outside again, getting back into stores, that's important to me, making it make sense. It's art for me, but it's also, you want to make sales. You want to see other people feel beautiful in what made you happy. It's your energy that you're giving them, literally in yarn form. So I want
Right.
to go back to that. It literally is. It's coming out of your mind, which is part of your soul, and it's coming out there. And the beauty, even though that they're ordering it, it's still coming from you. Your
And
energy,
it's
your time, you put
handmade.
it into it.
Yes.
You made it by
For
yourself
sure.
with your hands.
Yes. Yes. And there's so much energy in your hands. So, I want to be a better craftsman at my work also, and do more art pieces, because during the pandemic, I was able to show. We did a show outside. They did a parade, a fashion parade in Montclair, New Jersey, and part of it, I didn't have like a billboard or signage at that time, and I had to have one in order to participate, right? So I had this huge art piece, and I used crochet pieces, scraps of crochet pieces, and created art with it. So really looking at it and from a different perspective, and maybe submitting some of those pieces that I've created as signage, as art, going more into that. And of course the music covering it all, wrapping it up in a nice little bow.
Yes. The music. We'll get to that in a second.
Yeah.
Okay. Miss Lazheta, what about
Um,
you?
my goal, I didn't even know that I wanted to do fashion. I kind of was, it just kind of stumbled upon this,
Hmm.
and I'm realizing that I really like it. So I want to do more. I like to be in more shows. Just because I feel like a show gives me an opportunity it forces me to create and
Yeah.
to try to come up with
Yes.
something different, something that somebody else, hasn't thought of, or, just to put myself out there. So I'm really enjoying the process of making new things, and just I want to continue to learn for sure. And you guys are really helping me with learning more about the business, about the process of creating your own line of clothing. But
Yes.
get myself out there. I want to see people in my clothes. I want to say,
Yes.
and I have a friend I just made a hat for, and he's like, I'm gonna be your new male model. And yeah, that's what I want. I want people to want to wear
Yes.
my and to feel good when they put them on, and then, you know, brag about me a little bit. So I just want to put myself out there more with what I'm doing.
All right.
Yes. Yeah.
Cool. Well, that is great. I don't have any future goals. Just keep doing what I'm doing. I just want, Strands to keep going. I really like this platform because it's introduced me to a lot of people. And I just like the fact that you guys love it because it gives you a place to showcase
Yeah.
your
Yes.
artwork,
Yeah.
Yeah.
especially us,
Yes.
yeah,
Yes.
it's FUBU around here for me. So,
Yes.
I know that's right.
Something Stacey said here, that Strands, like this is the opportunity. This is such a wonderful opportunity to put yourself out there, and you've made it so inviting, and you just want to, want to do your best for it. But this has been my like crowning moment, because it's helping me to be more creative, to get myself out there, to just to showcase and do what I got to do.
yeah. It's like we all
Yes.
step up our games too after a Strands show because we see what everybody
Oh,
else is doing. It's
absolutely.
like, whoa, okay. But the cool
Absolutely.
part is,
Because for sure, I re-upped on my needles. The last Strands Fiber Showcase, like my darning needles. I said, "Oh, I'm not using the right stuff." I said, "Oh, I'm playing. I'm that would have taken me so much shorter if I knew that. Like if I had a resource just to see what they're doing." And why I'm like, wait a minute. Oh, I could have done it that way. Okay, like
we
so
learn from
that's
each
what I
other.
love about your
Sure.
platform.
Yeah, we absolutely learn from
Mhm.
each other. And what I love too is that we all have our own lanes. Like none of us do the same. I mean, there's a few resort
Yes.
wear and swimwear designers, but none of our stuff looks the same. So you have
Yes.
your,
Everybody's different.
yeah, everyone's different. And I love that about us. And we stay different.
Mhm.
While
Yes,
still inspiring each other and still learning off of each other, if that
Yeah.
makes
for
any
sure.
sense.
Mhm.
So,
For sure.
okay, so I thank you, ladies. I just want you to tell the world where everybody can get in touch with you outside of being at Strands on March 24th from 2 to 6 p.m. in South Fulton, Georgia, which is right in pretty much Atlanta. Um, so where can people find out more about you, Stacey?
You can definitely visit me at staceyangela.com, or you can visit me on IG at staybystaceyangela.com. And for the most part, I update pretty regularly. I also have a publication called Stay Magazine, and that IG is Stay Magazine World, and it allows me to be able to give opportunities to people that I like that look like me that I came across that deserved it, and I don't see them anymore, and I'm like, wait, I want to tell this story, you know.
Right.
It has allowed me, this crochet thing has like really blossomed into so many other things. And then of course the music, the goal is to put out an EP by the Strand show, because it's definitely, since Miss Stacey was like, so are you gonna perform?
Yes, she's gonna
it's making me
perform, you
step my
guys.
game up.
Okay.
Yes,
Yes.
yes, for
Good.
sure.
You can
For
find me
sure.
on Instagram, Ava Rose _ crochet. That's my Instagram. On Facebook, I'm Lazheta RoseAnn, or you can find me on Ava Rose Creations, three words, Ava Rose Creations on Facebook. That's where most of my designs are. I'm on TikTok under Ava Rose Crochet as well. So that's
Okay.
where you can find.
Yes, TikTok. You
Awesome.
got some funny videos, lady. You are funny.
Oh, I love to do the fun videos.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you're funny. You had
thank
me
you.
cracking up yesterday off of the pushing down the stairs.
Oh, yeah. Yes, and I
Oh,
love
I have
that's
to go and look.
pastime is I love those videos. I love to make the videos. So
That's good. Yeah, I
Have you
wish I was
have you
more
seen
into
the
video.
video? Have you
Of
seen the
what?
video where the lady is talking about, I know I'm a crocheter, so when I'm doing this, what's that video where they're like, of course I'm a crocheter, and I'm doing this,
oh,
this, and this. I would love for us to do that, like to do little clips. Like, of
that
course
Okay.
I crochet. I do. Of course I knit. Or of course
Okay.
I'm part of Strands. I blah, blah, blah,
Yes, let's get it. For sure.
All right, I'm
All
gonna send
right.
a link to you guys so you can see what I'm talking about.
Okay.
Yes, please do. Let's do that. All right. And outside of what they've told you, you can always find out more information about them on fiberartsfashion.com. Both designer, well, all 12 designers have their own profile, and you can get to them from here. Their Instagrams, TikToks, websites, or email, they're all here. Also, I just wanted everybody to know you're out of Hammond, Indiana, Lazheta,
Yes.
right?
Mm-hmm.
And Stacey is out of Montclair, New Jersey.
Yes,
so,
ma'am.
Again, thank you, ladies, for coming, for participating in Strands 1, for wanting to participate. That just the I don't know what word to use right now. Just the way that you guys are so inspired and want to come do Strands makes me, I mean, it's just a delight, it makes me happy. And it's one of the best gifts I could ever be given. So again, thank you.
Thank you so much for the opportunity. Thank you.
Yes, we will be, the day before Strands, we're having a Meet the Designers event. So under the Hooks, Whips, and Chains event that I have as well. So you guys can come out and see them. That'll be a free event to the public for everybody to come meet all the designers on Saturday, March 23rd. Okie doke. So thank you again. And thank you to everybody who has been watching and will watch all the recordings. We've been live on, I finally got it up on Fiber Arts Fashion on Instagram and on Pink Joy Crochets and on Facebook for both of those sites as well, and mine. So again, thank you. We will see you guys next week. Oh, wait, let me tell you who I got up next week. Who's up next week, you guys? I got Tanya Smith of PLRD Creations, and who else? Aisha Frazier of RoseAnn Designs. So stay tuned for next week at 11:30. We'll be back.
Okay.
Bye,
you.
guys.
Bye.
Bye. Thank you so much.
You're
Bye.
welcome.
Nice meeting you.
And happy hooking.
Love you guys.
Yes.
Happy hooking.
Oh, right back.
Bye.
Bye-bye.